said that was all kind of getting underground. Well, the floodwater out of that. We have a lot of problems with the phone lines in the area I work.
Yeah. You probably have, one of the things that we've had to live with as a competitive carrier when we lease some of these old copper lines is you're dealing with, old stuff. So yeah, the wet can bother. This is in conduit. The fiber itself is in, it's wrapped. It's fine. It won't be bothered. I said it won't be bothered. If somebody digs and cuts it, you have to go in and splice it, but it won't be bothered by the water. Not nearly as much as it's a problem if it's hanging and stuff falls down. Hopefully we'll never have anything as drastic as May 8th was. But no, the preferred way really is to bury it. Any other questions? I either bored everybody to death or explained everything.
Well, quick.
Yes.
That's like, I live in DuQuoin. When you bring up to DuQuoin, and then will they be a place where people will, how will they get that from DuQuoin? If you have a center or whatever in DuQuoin, how will the hospital get broadband? You run a wire, or will you run that fiber to the hospital?
Yeah, and I think the hospital in DuQuoin is on our hit list. Yeah, that was the lateral fiber that I talked about, 75 miles of lateral fiber.
And you run it right to the schools?
Right. So the anchors that are on our list, yeah, the fiber will go right to them.
County government buildings, city buildings get that?
I don't think we have any county government buildings on our anchor list, and that's where Mike comes in. You can talk to him about what it would take, to either get fiber to you, or depending on how far away you are, there are different options that you have of increasing bandwidth. The only issue if the fiber is not coming to you as part of the project is the cost of getting the fiber to you, and just figuring out a way to do that. Again, bear in mind that this is a real tight time constraint to get 740 miles built, so there's stuff outside of the project there's going to be a limit to how much we can do, but I know Mike is talking to people right now that are outside of our 232 anchors.
For Marion is coming down the interstate, correct?
No. For various reasons, you stay away from interstates. We're coming down 37. I believe we've been working north of Marion, all the way up to Fenton, Mount Vernon. Again, you can see the one key point up there is St. Louis, and that's part of why bandwidth is so expensive here. It costs a lot of money for each mile of fiber, and we're a long way from St. Louis. That's where inexpensive bandwidth is. Right now, most people get some bandwidth out of Carbondale, and it's really expensive. So it's key for us to get to St. Louis. So that route from St. Louis to Mount Vernon, down to Marion, and then across to here, that's sort of our phase one. That's what we're working on right now to try and get done. So our data center is going to be here in Marion. So once we get connected from St. Louis down to Marion, anything else that is there, we will be able to start lighting up. So that's why we're hoping to be able to provide some service.
Will that be underground from St. Louis to Marion too? Will that be underground too?
Every bit of it. And crazy enough, from East St. Louis to St. Louis, we're going under the river. Don't ask me how they do it. We bought some conduit that's already there. It was expensive, but yep, we go under the river.
How deep is this normally, like anywhere else besides over there? How deep is this in the ground,
Marion, I know we had some of those discussions. I think anywhere from 3 to 6 feet, depending on what you need to either avoid or work with. But it's usually about 3 feet. 3 to 6, yeah.
Do you have interconnection points built in, like every so often in a leg? say,
Yeah.
just pick a leg between Marion and Harrisburg, would you have interconnection points?
Well, they
Built in the
have,
system.
they have vaults, I think they call them, or handholds between these. The big dots you see would be our major interconnect points. Those would all, most of them, not all of them, but most of them would be telephone central offices in the area. From there, we can do all sorts of stuff. But there will be places, intermediate, and that's going to be some of the critical questions. If somebody's looking to have fiber built to them, is where would be the closest vault that we could go splice fiber into and get to you from there. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, close to one of these points. The route that we're on would also be critical of where a handhole might be there. Yes?
Not a question, but kind of confirming what you're saying. I teach at Carbondale High School, and our tech people have already told us that we're pretty much maxed out with what we can do, so they're looking forward to this.
Maximum is getting ready to get there.
Yeah.
And like I say, again, I've got a son at Marion Junior High and one at high school. So it's exciting for me to think that what's happening for them at school is going to be improved by something Dad's doing at work. That doesn't always get to happen, And there are all these towns that you can have an impact on. And again, I wish we could get to everybody. And as much money as this is, a $45 million project coming to Southern Illinois is fantastic. But this does not solve all the broadband problems that we have here. We're getting to these anchor institutions, but we'll need other third-party service providers to come in and start getting to homes. And we get calls from people, if you live 4 miles out of town and you have a hard time getting internet, high-speed internet right now, this by itself does not solve that. But what it does is it solves one of the problems, one of the hurdles for people to get over to get to you. It's sort of like the interstate when they were built. It was hard for somebody to get to Marion, without the interstate. Now they can get to us quick, but then now all of a sudden you have to go, okay, well, we got to do some stuff in the town to get to other people. So this really is a starting point, but again, it can have a huge impact, and we hope to see other third-party service providers pop up. We'd love to sell as much to them as we can. There should be new businesses pop up that are doing it. Steve and I have already talked to them. There are a few that are already here that are excited about it coming because it really will change their business model. It's not the only cost involved in their business, but it's a big part of it, especially when you're looking to grow. That's one of the painful things. It's like, okay, we're being successful, we're growing, but ooh, gosh, it hurts every time I have to go buy additional bandwidth to service those. Sometimes you get into a point that you're going, we're a whole lot bigger, but we're not making any more money. We got a lot more headaches, but the bottom line is still about what it was before. So this will help in that and hopefully help us get some businesses in communities high-speed bandwidth because other businesses will come in. This won't solve it.